This one is in available state. I can go to actions and I can attach to one of the 1C EC2 instance.
Okay. Yes, I got you what you said. I mean to say that this we have attached a new volume, right? Which is made from the screenshot and which we have taken from the 1A.
Yes.
Right? Okay, then at the same time, we will have volume for 1A and 1B, both, right?
Okay, I'll take your question at end of the session. Meanwhile, you just try to perform that, or I'll take your question tomorrow first off. You take some time and you practice. So then I'll pick your question.
Okay, Mr.
Okay? Yeah.
One question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we have an EC2 instance at 1A, and we use that volume to other servers or other instances. Is it possible?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
The instance is in 1A. They have size of 8 GB. So we may create some snapshot for this one 8 GB and you can use it for another server.
We can use it for last word I missed.
Another availability zone 1B or 1C. I mean, it's like a snapshot of 8 GB. We can use it for availability zones 1B or 1C. We can do that.
That's what we did, right?
No, it's I'm saying about the 8 GB directly. Is that?
You mean root volume? You're saying you want to work with root volume. Okay, you should mention that word actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So here the question is root volume. Yes, we can. So there is an activity. If you are selecting an EC2 instance, for example, due to some issues, your OS got corrupted and all. So you can go to storage and you see here root volume replacement task. So if your OS is having some issues and all, boot issues and all, yes, we can do that. So whatever the healthy snapshot you have, you can go and you can select this option, replace root volume. So now, where is that? So you select the snapshot, which snapshot contains that 8 GB backup. You select the backup. So then create replacement task. So then it will happen. Okay. Yeah. So now let's take another scenario. In this scenario, our instance 1 is in AP South 1A, instance 2 is in 1B. What if the first instance is in Mumbai region, second instance is in some another region like a Sydney region? See, for another availability zone, only details and attach is not possible. For another region, how it is possible directly? No, right? So what we need to do? We need to do one additional step. Once you create a snapshot, you have an option called copy. Copy snapshot to desired region. Okay. So we are taking 1 GB backup copy. So then what we are doing? We are creating it in Sydney. We can create it in Singapore. So the same copy will create. From this copy, you can create. Okay. So now let's assume you have another EC2 instance is in Singapore or Sydney. I'm taking one now. I don't have any, but I'm showing the mechanism. So do I have any snapshot here? No. Let's assume you have one EC2 instance in Singapore region in one of the availability zone. Okay, like AP Southeast 2A or 2B or 2C in one of the availability zone. Now, what my requirement is, whatever the 1 GB volume I have, I need similar copy for another region one. So the first step, creating a snapshot, that is pretty straightforward. You need to do that first. Okay. So now, whenever you are trying to create a volume, what it is asking? It is asking us to choose only AP South ones, but not the Singapore and all, right? So select the snapshot, go to actions, and here we have an option called copy snapshot. Click on copy snapshot. So there you have an option. Where do you want to select? So I want to copy it to Singapore region. So Singapore region code is AP Southeast 2. AP Southeast 2. Okay, I'm going to give a description. This is copied from Mumbai. Okay, now click on copy snapshot. Then what happened? Here in Singapore, you observe, we are getting similar backup copy in Singapore. Okay, so from this copy, again, once it is in available state, what I can do? I can go and I can create a volume in Singapore, whether my instance is in AP Southeast 2A or 2B, I can select it. Then remaining process is same. One step additionally added, that is, if your another instance is in another region, you need to copy it. You need to copy it. Okay. You see, it is completed. I can go to actions, create volume. Now 2A, 2B, 2C, I can select it. That's it, right? Okay. So I'm deleting it. It will cost us. Right. This is if your EC2 instance is in another region. What if you need that 1 GB volume for another AWS account? You have account 1 and you have account 2. Somehow you got some requirement that one volume you need to share it with another AWS account. Okay. So again, directly detach and attach, is it possible? No, right? Why? Because this is account 1 and it is in Mumbai region. So this is our 1 GB volume. This is account 2 EC2 instance. In account 2, it may be in Mumbai or any other region, doesn't matter. Okay. So directly detach and attach is not possible. So what you need to do? Again, same process. Create a snapshot. So then share the snapshot by using 12-digit AWS account ID. Whenever you are creating an AWS account, right? AWS will give a unique 12-digit account ID. Take that unique 12-digit AWS account ID and share this volume with another AWS account. If you are sharing it from Mumbai, he will get it in Mumbai. Okay, so he got a copy in Mumbai region, the same snapshot. If his EC2 instance is in Mumbai, he can create a volume and he can attach. Okay, so here additional step, instead of copy, if you required it for another AWS account, you need to share it. Okay. You do have an option called make public also. Make public means anyone who knows your snapshot ID, they can create a volume. You are making it available for everyone. That we never ever do it in our organization. As I repeated this statement multiple times, data is very, very important for our organization. We never make it public. Okay, so that is the mechanism. So if you want to share it with another AWS account, select the volume, actions, here modify permissions, and privately add your accounts here. You can add 50 accounts. Click on add account, give your account ID, the 12-digit account ID, where we can find. So once you log in, if you click on top right corner, you see here, this is what my account ID. So just copy and add that account ID here, then click on add, then click on save changes. It will be shared with that AWS account ID. Okay. Similar way, you can add multiple accounts. I'm not sure who owns this account. I'm just adding. Okay. So similar way. Now when I click on save, this volume, 1 GB volume is going to share with that another AWS account ID. How that guy can view that? You observe here, owned by me, just below to the snapshots, owned by me, privately shared with me, or in Mumbai region, what are all the public snapshots we have? You see here in Mumbai region, Around 2000 public snapshots we have. So who shared that also we can view. Click here, owner alias, then confirm. You see here Amazon shared it. So there is a purpose for it. Okay. So these all volumes Amazon shared it for everyone, public. So basically those are coming from marketplace. Okay. Most of the volume come marketplace. Don't worry about that. So this is the snapshot process. Now, couple of things like, you can expect this question in your interview. So the question is, see, you have a volume. And this volume is not encrypted or unencrypted. So in some organizations, we are going to have some compliances. So we should not have any unencrypted volumes. If we have any, we need to make it as an encrypted one. But once a volume is created, we cannot change that encryption. If it is created with unencryption only we need to continue. Okay. So how we can encrypt an existing volume is a question you can expect in interview. Okay. So again, directly modifying it is not possible. Now this is unencrypted or not encrypted. So create a snapshot. When you create the snapshot, right? That snapshot also going to be not encrypted one or unencrypted one. Snapshot also unencrypted one only. But by using this snapshot, whatever the volume you are going to create, while creating, it will give an option. Okay, do you want to enable encryption? So you need to enable an option here. Now this volume is going to be encrypted volume. Technically, both are same. But this is not encrypted. This is encrypted. We perform this with the help of snapshot. This is one scenario, like, you can expect in your interview. So he will ask you, okay, you have a volume that is not encrypted and you need to enable encryption. So most of guys will say, okay, we can go to property, modify volume and enable encryption. That is not possible. I'll show you this now. Okay, first I'm creating, okay, this volume is it encrypted? Scroll down to right and you see here, not encrypted. So now I created a snapshot from that. Is this snapshot encrypted? Just scroll down to right and you see here, not encrypted. But if I go to actions, when I'm creating a volume from this snapshot, you see here, enable this, encrypt this volume. What encryption key? I'm going with the default encryption key. Okay. So what name you want to give? I'm going to call this as a encryption volume or encrypted volume. Click on create volume. So from snapshot, the snapshot is not encrypted, but still from that snapshot, I can create a encrypted one. So technically this one and this one, same, but this one is not encrypted. This one is encrypted. Clear with this? Okay, this is one important point. Now, continuation to that.
Hello?
Yes.
Avinash, one second, repeat it, that encryption. Just now you did process now.
What is a difficult thing here? Did you miss anything or?
Yes, I missed.
All right. So this is your first EC2 instance or a volume. This volume is not encrypted. Okay, clear? Now my requirement is I want to encrypt this. So directly modifying this volume and enable encryption is not available. So from this not encrypted volume, I have created a snapshot. This snapshot also not encrypted. Why? Because this volume is not encrypted. If volume is not encrypted, snapshot also not encrypted. From this snapshot, when I'm creating a volume, now I have an option. Okay, if I select enable encryption, So then this volume is going to be encrypted. If I don't select this option, again, this also going to be not encrypted. So while creating a volume from the snapshot, I am enabling this option. So then what happened? This volume is created and this is the encrypted volume. So technically both are same, but this is not encrypted. This is encrypted. Clear with this?
Yes, Avinash, now.
Okay. All right. So now, next to this, continuation to this, one more point. So you have an encrypted volume. Okay. So you are trying to share it with another AWS account user, encrypted snapshot. So now this volume is encrypted, right? If I create a snapshot, you see that snapshot also encrypted. I'm going to give this a name encrypted snapshot. Okay. So now I created a snapshot. This snapshot is encrypted. You see here? If you scroll down to right, you observe here, the snapshot is encrypted. So now, just like an existing one, can we share this encrypted snapshot with another AWS account user? We have two conditions. If that encrypted snapshot is with default encryption, DMK, default master key, we cannot share it. Why? Because those default keys will be available for our own AWS accounts. It will be available for our own AWS accounts only. So we cannot share. Let's see that. I selected the snapshot, actions, or else manually, if you go to permissions, you see here, DMK snapshots we cannot share. So it's not giving any option to modify permissions. Okay, so that is one limitation. If you are using CMK, customer managed key, yes, we can. What you need to do, with what AWS account you are giving, you are sharing it, you need to share that permissions also. You remember KMS? You remember KMS service? Whenever you are creating a key, it will ask you symmetric or asymmetric. Then it will ask you to give a name. So then after, you can give key administrators who can administrate the key. So then in next step, you are giving key usage permission. So if you want to give key usage permission to another AWS account, you see here, other AWS accounts. Click on add another AWS account. You give the account name here, account number. So along with your snapshot, you need to share your KMS key usage permissions also. Then only that another user can use that volume. Okay. Why? Because the volume is encrypted, right? The volume is encrypted. So how another AWS account user can decrypt without permissions? So that's the reason you need to share encryption mechanism also. That is another important point. Okay. So as I told you, this is an interview question. Okay. So this is all manual process. Now we discussed about what is snapshot, how to create a volume from snapshot and all, right? So this is all we do it in manually. Can we automate this process? For example, I have a volume. That volume is important to me. My application continuously writing some data. Okay. And periodically, I want to take a backup. So for every 12 hours or for every 24 hours, I want to create a backup copy for an individual volume or for an entire EC2 instance. So setting an alarm and taking a snapshot is not possible, right? Every day, sometimes we may miss. So we want to automate that process. So for that, we have a service called DLM, Data Lifecycle Manager. We have a service called DLM, Data Lifecycle Manager. With the help of DLM, we can configure the backups automatically. At what time you want to take a backup copy, how many servers you want to take a backup copy, that we can define. If you want to now, sometime back we discussed, right? We can copy snapshot to another region. We can share snapshot with another AWS account. We can even automate that process also. Once DLM, Data Lifecycle Manager, creates any backup copy, that backup copy need to copy to Singapore region automatically. Or it need to share with another AWS account automatically. So far, we discussed manual process. Same thing we can automate. Okay, so for that, we can use DLM. But one point, how we can filter the resources? Generally, in organization, we are not going to have 1 or 2 EC2 instances. We are going to have like, in one environment, I'll show you. In my previous project, I think I have that. I took a screenshot actually. No. Ah, where is that? I'm not very good at organizing the things. Yeah, here it is. You see here? $321 EC2 instances, 1,000 plus volumes. Okay, 30 key pairs, load balancers, 58 load balancers, and 1,000 plus snapshots. So, do we really created the snapshots manually? 1,000 plus snapshots? No. Okay, so this is for non-prod environment. I think I should have similar image for production. Okay, so production is almost similar actually, the count and everything. So now my main purpose for showing that image is sometimes you may work in such type of huge environments. So we don't create the snapshots manually. Okay, manual process may not work always. So to automate that, so we are going to use DLM. That is the first thing. Second thing is how, for example, you have the 300 plus EC2 instances. I want to configure a backup for only one project resources or only 10 EC2 instances or 50 EC2 instances. How I can pick that 50 instances from 300? That is important, right? Okay. So by using an option called tag, you remember tag? Tag is not mandatory actually. Without adding tag also you can launch resources. But tag plays some important role whenever you are filtering the resources. For example, you have 50 instances. Out of that 50 instances, 10 instances you have used for project X. You have project Y, project Z also. But I want to configure something or I want to apply some updates or I want to apply some patches for only project X EC2 instances. So we need to have a property for that project X resources, right? Where we can segregate that, where we can differentiate that. So for all the project X resources, you add a tag. You can give any key and any value. For example, you can use standard one, okay, project. Then give tag key as a project, value as a project X. Out of that 50 instances, for that project 10 instances, project X instances, right? So add a specific tag for the 10 resources. Now you see here, I have 2 EC2 instances. But my requirement, I want to take a backup, or I want to configure a backup for only one A instance. I don't want to make it applicable for one B instance. Okay, I can pick a name, or else simply we can add additional tags. You see here, I'm picking this instance, I'm navigating to tags. At moment, I have only name tag. Then click on manage tag, add new tag. We can add 50 tags for an EC2 instance. So I'm going to add a tag called project. I'm calling it as a project X. I'm going to add another thing, backup. I'm calling it as a schedule 1. Okay. At what level I have added the tags? At instance level. At instance level, not for individual volume level. Okay. Now while configuring DLM, I can select category as an instance, and I can select one of the unique tag available here. So then I can configure. So the differentiation. So for this 1B instance, do I have that project tag? No, right? So now if I configure DLM where project is equal to project X, only this EC2 instance will be picked automatically, not the another one. Clear this, guys? Okay, any confusion here? So whenever you go to pub, they will give some bands, right? Pub or like, somewhere. So some like, some normal customers, some VIP customers, some VVIP, like, they will treat based on that band itself, we can segregate. If it is a blue band, one category, red band, one category. So how? We are not asking them. But that guy is wearing a band, based on that color, we are segregating. Correct. Similar way, we have a lot of resources here. How we are segregating? So we are giving a band here. So the band is like a tag. So I'm adding a tag. So now, if, for example, a lot of members are there, if I want to call only VIP, so I can call, okay, whoever have red handband, okay, you guys come. Then whoever have that, they will all come. I'm not pointing to any specific name. I don't know their names also. Okay, how I'm doing the segregation? Based on that color band, right? Similar way, you have 100 instances, 200 instances, but for picking the resources, I'm using this tag. For example, someone don't have a tag. Someone don't have a band. Do they really allow? No, right? Even if you paid the fee amount also, they don't allow. Why? Because that is mandatory. So if you launch a real server for a production purpose, but if you forgot to add a tag, that instance won't come to backup job. Okay? Clear with the mechanism? Right. So now let's navigate to DLM. Here below snapshots, we have Lifecycle Manager. Go to that Lifecycle Manager. Okay. So here, click on EBS snapshot policy. You will come to know that cross account copy, name only telling automatically copy to another account. AMI is our tomorrow session topic. So EBS snapshot policy. Click on next step. Now, you want to filter resources by using volume tags or instance tags. It's in our hand only. Okay, I want to go with the instance tags. So if I go here, observe here, which tag you want to pick it. Pick the tags automatically. what are all the instances have a key as a backup, value as a scheduled one. Those all EC2 instances will come as part of this backup job. If any EC2 instance don't have this tag, if any EC2 instance don't have this tag, that won't comes under this backup job. If you forgot to add a tag, that is our mistake. That is a manual mistake. Okay. So we need to take care. For example, you want to limit this at volume level. Then go here, whatever the volume, have a name. 1B instance, 1A instance, encrypted volume. Okay, I want to take a backup copy of these. Whatever volume, the name of the volume should be 1B instance. If you are giving multiple will part of this job. Okay. So as I told you, I'll go with the instance where project is project X. Then click on add. What are all the instances? Is tagged with project X. Those all comes under this backup automation job. You give a description. Okay. My project X resources, daily backup or weekly backup, you can give any meaningful description. So it is going to use a role automatically. So go with the default. Don't worry about that. What is that and all? Don't worry. Just go with the default role for now. You want to give any tags for this job? You can give that here. So currently you want to enable this policy, or later on you want to, it will create, but it will be in disabled state. Later, whenever you require, you can enable it. So I want to enable it. So do you want to exclude root volumes, or you want to exclude any specific data volumes by using key? You can give it, but it's purely optional. Okay, click on next. Now here we need to configure the schedule. Okay, how frequently you want to take a backup copy? That we are going to configure here. So the schedule name is, you can give any, for example, I'm going to call this as a daily schedule. Daily schedule. So how frequently you want to? Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. I want to create daily. Daily for every 12 hours, for every 1 hour, 2 hours, or for every 24 hours. Okay. So at what time you want to starting at? Okay, 9 a.m. UTC is a time zone. So basically UTC is a standard time zone. It is not IST. Now it is showing 9 a.m. right? So it's not our 9 a.m. This is UTC. I am also not good with the time zones. So you calculate UTC to IST. So 9 a.m. UTC means 9 a.m. UTC means 2:30 p.m. IST. Starting from this time, okay, starting from this time, it is going to create a backup copy for every 24 hours. For example, I want to create a backup copy for every 1 hour. The first copy is going to create today at 2:30. Okay. For example, I want to 5 a.m. So if I give 5 a.m., the first backup copy will create at 10:30. Okay. So fine, for every 1 hour from 10:30 onwards, for every 1 hour, it is going to create a backup copy. Fine. But do you want to keep all the backup copies for unlimited days? It's pile up, right? So instead of having all those backup copies, we can configure a retention period. Retention period. Okay. I want to have only last 24-hour backup copies, or I want to have last 5 backup copies. We can choose based on the count or age. Whatever the volume is created in last 1 day, I want to have it. If volume age is more than 1 day, it will delete automatically. You manually no need to go and delete. Okay. So that is a retention policy. So instead of age, okay, I want to keep only most recently created 5 snapshots. Technically, For every 1 hour it is creating, right? So last 5-hour copies we'll have. Okay. So are we going to configure this much? Like, 1 hour and all? No. Every day we will create a backup copy. In my project, every day morning at 3 a.m. Why? Because at 3 a.m. very, very less guys work. Okay. So less data, less traffic also will come. However, your server will be up and running. It won't affect your server operations. But sometimes some lag we may get. So we are going to take a backup copy at morning 3 a.m. For every 24 hours, daily once backup copy will create. If it is a production environment, we are going to have last 7 days copy. Production environment, last 7 days backup copy. If it is a non-production environment, we are going to have last 3 days copy. Okay. So that is how exactly it is configured in my project. So you also follow same. In your interview, you can expect a question. He won't ask you how you are going to take all these things. He will come up with a question. Okay, what is your instances backup strategy? The question will be, what is your instance backup strategy? Now you need to talk about all these things. He won't ask you how you are filtering, what service you are using, what is the retention period. He won't ask you individual things. Okay, so you need to talk about all the things. We are using DLM to take a backup. We filter the resources by using tags. We have configured daily backup. It happens every day at 3 a.m. Retention period for production, it's 7 days. For non-production, it is 3 days. You should mention these 5 points. If you miss any point, he is going to ask you manually. Okay, what is the retention? Or at what time you are going to take, right? Are you doing using any service or third party? Many third party applications also available, but we really don't depend on that. Okay. So yeah, here, this is what I'm copying. And now I told you one thing, whatever snapshot is creating, we can automate one thing, that automatically we can copy to another region or automatically we can share with another AWS account. If you want to configure such type of things, you see here, cross region copy. If you enable this, automatically it will copy. For example, I want to copy to Singapore automatically. Then select it. In Singapore, how many days you want to keep the retention? Okay, I want to keep it for 7 days. Okay. Now, do you want to enable encryption? You can select it. Cross account sharing. Whatever snapshot is creating, do you want to share with another account automatically? Go here, give the 12-digit account ID and add that here. So automatically we are copying to desired region or we are sharing with another AWS account. Along with that, we have an option called fast snapshot restore. So you see, you have a snapshot. Okay, something happened to your existing volume. So you need similar volume copy now. Okay, so basically the snapshot we use for disaster recovery purpose. You have a server, you have some additional volumes, the volume is corrupted or the volume data is deleted manually by someone or something happened to it. We lost all the data, right? But if you have a backup copy, you can create a volume from that backup copy, right? So for that purpose, primarily we use this. So whenever restoring is nothing but creating a volume from this snapshot is nothing but restore. So how much time it is going to take? Here it happened pretty quickly. The reason, it's just 1 GB volume. As it is just 1 GB volume, it happened pretty quickly. But what if your volume size is 1000 GB? Then if you initiate to create a volume from that snapshot, it will take around 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Okay, so if you want to speed up that process, you can enable it. Enable fast snapshot restoration. It's just restoration only, but it will boost up the process speed. You play video games? You have accelerator. Along with that, you have an option called nitro. When you click on nitro or nitro, right, what happens? For certain period, it will go very fast. But once that power completed, again, you need to use accelerator only. So that nitro option is this in simple. It will speed up the restoration process. Okay. So again, additional charges apply. So even real environments also, we don't depend on this. Okay. So then click on review policy. This is a review. Okay. You see this? For every 1 hour starting at 5 a.m., retention period is 5 most recent snapshots. It's the name I have given daily schedule. What resource it is going to pick? Whatever the instances have a tag where key is equal to project, value is equal to project X. Then scroll down, create policy. Now a policy created. This policy will create the resources automatically. So you manually don't need to do anything. It will create volumes, 1 GB volume, 1 GB volume for every 1 hour automatically. Okay. And for that created volumes, we are going to get a tag automatically. I'll show you the tag. Where is that? Not this one. I'll show you. It will come up with a tag for what instance this volume is created, at what time it is created. These are the variable tags. It adds automatically. So to identify at what time it is created, for what instance it is created, right? So this is creating all copies, but to what instance it belongs to, we can use these tags and we can find at what time it got created and all. Okay, so this is a data lifecycle manager. So any questions on this data lifecycle manager, guys? Now I'm open to all your questions. Any questions from online? So if you want to temporarily, we can keep it in disabled state also. Disable lifecycle policy. Now it is in disabled state. Okay. See, DLM won't cost us anything. It is free. But make sure your snapshots, once you're done with the practice, you delete. Snapshot also comes under free tier eligibility, but don't leave the resource after practice. Make sure you delete it. Okay.
So DLM is used mainly for scheduling purpose.
Yes, to automate the backup. To yes.
Backup schedule.
Yes. If we back up the instance, will it back up all the attached volumes? Yes, it will. Okay, so here I have explained all the scenarios, whatever scenarios I have talked, right? I documented all those. Okay, so you follow this, you read this. So you want to share it from account 1 to account 2. So account 2 is not possible as both are running in different AWS accounts and regions. So what is the process? You see here, choose a volume, take a snapshot, share the snapshot to another account, create a volume. So then while creating in account 2, choose your AP South 1A. So that is how exactly it works. So some points regarding that EBS volumes and this is 3 days. So what is fast snapshot restoration, some snapshot points. And here, the first task is there is an article from AWS. There is a blog from AWS. So try to configure your backup in this manner, the DLM. Go to that given URL. If you scroll down a bit, you see here, these are the example snapshot policy definition. Tier 1, how frequently you are creating, how you are picking the resources, retention period, don't enable this. Don't enable cross-region copy also. So try this. then try to observe this, read and understand this. So my suggestion, just spare some time and go through this article. That is the first thing. Okay. Second thing is launch an EC2 instance in AP South 1A. After launching an EC2 instance, create a new volume with 1 GB and attach it to your EC2 instance. Make it available. So then increase the volume size from 1 GB to 2 GB. Make it available at OS level. This is task 2. Whatever instance you're using for task 2, keep like that. So then launch another EC2 instance in another availability zone. Our existing EC2 instance is in AP South 1A. New instance, launch it in AP South 1B. Now, this 2 GB volume, okay, whatever the data you have, I want to get same volume for this 1B instance also. So directly detaching and attaching, is it possible? No, right? Why? Because that is in 1A, this is in 1B. So create a snapshot. From snapshot, create an EC2 instance, create a EBS volume in 1B. Then attach it. So then make it available and verify whatever the data you have written whenever it is here. Okay. Write some data. Whatever data you have written here. Okay. So that data should be available here also. You should be able to see the data. All right. So this is a task 3. Okay. So this is regarding volumes in our EC2 instance. So we discussed how to create a volume, volume categories, attaching volume, increasing the volume, detaching from server 1, attaching it to server 2, all or whatever volume you have, making it available to another region, another account. Okay, how to take a backup copy for that volume, how to automate that. These all points we discussed. So we're done with the storage part in our EC2. All right. So then we will discuss a concept called golden AMI that we will discuss in our tomorrow session. Okay. Right. So again, once you're done with the lab, make sure you delete all the resources. Don't leave any resource in stopped state or running state. Delete all the resources. Okay, if you delete any volume, will it delete all the snapshots and copies? Will it? No. See, snapshots are backup copies, right? Backup we always required. Even if you accidentally deleted volume, you should have backup. If you delete automatically, there is no meaning for backup, right? So it won't delete automatically, Rajesh. All right. In my case, I need to delete this first. So then let me terminate my instances. So once your instances got terminated, if any volumes left, you delete that volumes. Whatever volumes you manually create, it won't delete automatically. You manually need to delete it. I'm deleting the snapshots. Okay. So these volumes, I need to wait. Seems instance not terminated yet. Okay, it is still shutting down. This 1 GB copies is in available state. Actions, delete volume, type delete. Okay. This is still, it's still shutting down. If you are facing any issue, like, if it is in the same state for a minute and all, you will get an additional option here. Force terminate or force stop also. Only in some scenarios it will come. Okay. So I'm going to upload this document to our GitHub. Okay, it's uploaded here. So you guys registered for that NASCAM thing? This future skills. Okay. So did you receive any call from Naresh team? They may call you soon.
No, Nash, we didn't got any call.
They will call you to confirm, like, you know, your email ID and your phone numbers. Okay. Yeah. All right. All my resources got terminated. I'm good to sign out. All right. So spare some time and practice. Okay. So we are into, like, you know, some important concept. These backups, instances, these all important concepts. Right. Spend some time and go through that book and go through this document notepad and practice. That is important.